For 30 years, we visited a temporary crown. It was a pilgrimage to the desert where a working person could feel like royalty. The architect of that global illusion wasn't a king, but a salesman named Steve Wynn. He didn't just build hotels like the Mirage, the Bellagio, and the Wynn resorts. He built temples, monuments of marbled glass, and pure speckle designed to make the everyday gambler believe they were part of something magnificent. We bought the dream hand over fist. We rewarded that loyalty with our time, our money, and our faith. But behind those gilded doors, beneath the dazzling chilly glass ceilings, and beside the dancing fountains, a dangerous reality was taking root. A dark culture that would alternate every single person who stepped onto his property. To understand how deep this betrayal goes, we have to look at the genesis of the modern Las Vegas Strip, a logical blueprint of speculating debt that was destined to collapse. The date is November 27, 1989. While most of Las Vegas was still a collection of tired relics offering 99-cent shrimp cocktails, Wynn, fueled by the memory of having to pay off his late father's illegal gambling debts to some very rough character to execute his masterpiece, the Mirage. It was a $630 million gamble, a staggering sum when most casinos cost only a third of that, and Wall Street analysts predicted financial suicide, scoffing at the junk bonds he used for financing. But Wynn didn't listen. Within 30 minutes of opening, an estimated 40,000 people flooded the entrance. Wynn radioed security and simply said, "Let those people in." This wasn't just another casino opening. This was the precise moment the clock started ticking on Old Vegas. Wynn's true genius, the scientific core of his success, was understanding psychology over poker odds. The Mirage had to generate over $1 million a day just to service its monumental debt, and it did so with terrifying ease. How? Not just by tightening the slots, but by providing a spectacle that no one else could replicate. Siegfried and Roy's white tigers, the iconic action, every 15 minutes that stopped sidewalk traffic, the immersive wonder. He realized that if you give people a show they can't get anywhere else, they will come, and will gamble. His properties drove Las Vegas visitation up a colossal 16% in 1990 alone. This was not a miracle, this is a science of distraction. He revolutionized how the city saw and putting a new, respectable, and Disney-esque vision, a stark contrast to the mob-tin past. This was the logical framework for the second phase of his empire. By 1998, Wynn had executed the logical conclusion with the Bellagio, a property so expensive it made the Mirage look like a budget motel. At $1.6 billion, was the most expensive hotel ever built. The dancing fountains were just the prologue. Inside, it featured a fine art gallery with Picassos, and room rates averaged $200 a night. More than double the rest of the Strip. This moment, as one historian noted, was pivotal. It told the world that Las Vegas wasn't tacky anymore. And here lies the central, dangerous shift. To fund these escalating projects, Wynn stopped chasing the loyal regular, who paid $5.95 for a steak dinner. He started chasing the wild, the high roller, the wealthy foreign gambler. The Bellagio featured private gaming salons of 1,000 minimum bets, and private bungalows costing $250 a night. For the working person, this transformation felt like a physical expulsion. The blackjack minimums kept climbing, the conks dried up, and that favorite buffet was suddenly a $60 a person, bigger than ever. But for us, the audience, the dream had curdled. The logic was clear. The higher the debt, the more exclusive and expensive the experience must become. In 2000, Wynn sold Mirage Resorts for $6.6 billion, walked away with a massive fortune, and immediately started planning his most expensive monument yet, the $2.7 billion Wynn Las Vegas, built on the site of the demolished Desert Inn. He then made his biggest, most aggressive financial leap to Asia. By 2017, nearly 76% of his entire company's massive quarterly revenue, over $1.3 billion, was pouring in from China. He was a global, untouchable titan. But while he was building gondolas and performance lakes in Macau on a $4.1 billion budget, a different, hidden structure was being built back in Las Vegas, an empire of silence and fear. Behind the polished marble and the million-dollar art, a horrifying subculture was operating, one that would destroy the architectural marvels he'd created. We are now coming up on the central hook of our story. You're about to hear about the price of silence, a price that came directly out of the very profits you helped create. You should be horrified by what we reveal next. Friday, January 26, 2018, the Wall Street Journal published an investigation that ripped the veil away from the Vegas dream. The headline accused Wynn of a pattern of sexual misconduct. Based on interviews with over 150 current former employees, the allegations were detailed and deeply disturbing, many of them manicurists and spa workers. The most shocking claim involved a manicurist at Wynn Las Vegas who alleged he forced her to have sex in a massage room connected to his office back in 2005. Here is the logical, chilling fact. According to official investigation, this employee reported the incident to HR, but the complaint vanished into the call. It went nowhere. Instead, Wynn later paid the manicurist a settlement of $7.5 million. A separate server also reached a $975,000 settlement for an alleged non-consensual relationship. The sheer scale of these private payouts is a quantifiable measure of the fear that pervaded the company. Employees reportedly created hidden backrooms to avoid their own CEO. Wynn denied everything's preposterous and a smear campaign, but the market delivered its verdict instantly. The ultimate logic machine saw the danger. Wynn Resorts stock plummeted 10% in one day, erasing $8 billion in market value. The stock ultimately collapsed 18% in days. Analysts rushed to downgrade the company. The fallout was swift and logical within days. Wynn resigned as the finance chairman of the Republican National Committee. Within 2 weeks, he resigned as CEO and chairman of the company he founded, claiming he couldn't be effective in an environment where rush to judgment takes precedence. By April 2018, he had divested his entire $2.4 billion stake. But the logical consequences were just beginning. The Nevada Gaming Control Board launched a thorough 7-month investigation, concluding that Wynn was not a person of good character, honesty, endowed her integrity, and unsuitably associated with the gaming enterprise. Wynn Resorts was hit with a record $20 million fine in Nevada for failing to investigate and report the claims, the largest in state history. The Massachusetts investigation even more damning, resulting in a $35 million fine for Wynn Resorts and a $500,000 fine for its new CEO for covering up the claims. The commission discovered they had failed to disclose the $7.5 million settlement during their initial licensification. Finally, in 2023, Steve Wynn personally paid a $10 million fine, the largest individual penalty levied by Nevada gaming regulators, agreeing never to hold a gaming license in Nevada again. He admitted no wrongdoing, but the money speaks for itself. Here's the ultimate scientific reality. Wynn Resorts paid $55 million in combined government fines, plus another $70 million to settle shareholder lawsuits. That $125 million came directly from casino profits made off players like you. The spectacle, the luxury, the entire illusion was being funded by the silence and the suffering of the very people who worked there, and the players were the cleanup bill. To their credit, Wynn Resorts has implemented significant changes. A new board with female members, a complete overhaul of executive leadership, and independent oversight panels claims. The company is charting a future, reducing debt, and securing new gaming licenses in the United Arab Emirates. They even successfully extended their critical macaw concession. However, for us, the loyal Vegas customer, the foundational betrayal remains. The table minimums have not come down. The slot pads have not gotten better. The resort fees still exist. The old Vegas that rewarded loyalty, the dream that Steve Wynn so brilliantly sold us, is gone, having been sold out for the pursuit of high roller profits and ultimately silenced by massive settlements. This is a logical end state of a city built on debt and spectacle. It prices out its base and ultimately collapses under the weight of its own moral compromise. The architecture marvels, but the culture of fear and the constant escalation of price have fundamentally changed the city forever. What's your Vegas story? Did you see the magic when Wynn's properties still treated the regulars right? Or did you watch your favorite casino pace into a playground for billionaires? Share your experience in the comments below. We need to remember what Vegas used to be to understand the logical steps needed to fight for what it should become. Because this city was never built by high rollers and trust fund kids. It was built by us. If this analysis opened your eyes to the tragic truth behind the polished veneer of Las Vegas, hit that like button. And if you are new here, subscribe to Odd World Files.